My name is Margaret Hayes. I am 72 years old now, and I've learned that some betrayals cut so deep, they change the very fabric of who you are for 47 years. I was married to Robert Hayes. We met in college. He was studying business. I was pursuing literature. He had these warm brown eyes that crinkled when he smiled, and a laugh that made everyone in the room feel like they were the most important person there. We built a beautiful life together. 2 children, Sarah and Michael. A modest home in suburban Connecticut with a garden I tended every spring. Sunday dinners. Holiday traditions. The kind of marriage everyone said they admired. But beneath that surface, there were cracks I refused to see. Robert worked as an accountant for a mid-sized firm. Steady income, predictable hours. Or so I thought. Over the years, he'd mentioned late nights at the office, weekend conferences, urgent client meetings. I believed him. Why wouldn't I? We were partners. We were family. What I didn't know was that for 15 years Robert had been having an affair with a woman named Christine from his office. 15 years of lies, of secret phone calls, of a double life I never suspected. I found out by accident. A text message that popped up on his phone while he was in the shower. Just a simple message. Missing you already. Last night was perfect. My hands trembled as I read it. Then I read the messages before it, and before that. An entire hidden world unfolded before my eyes. Vacations I thought were work trips. Gifts I thought were bonuses spent on office supplies. Affection I thought was saved for me. When I confronted him, Robert didn't even try to deny it. He just looked tired. I was going to tell you, he said quietly. Christine and we're moving in together. I want a divorce, just like that. 47 years reduced to a simple statement. The divorce was brutal. Robert fought me on everything: the house, the savings, even my grandmother's china set. But the worst part came when I discovered something that made my blood run cold. Throughout our marriage, we'd had a joint account. Everything went in there: his salary, my part-time teaching income, gifts from relatives, tax returns. We'd raised our children on that money, paid for their weddings, saved for retirement together. What I didn't know was that Robert had opened a separate account 20 years earlier, an account only in his name, an account where he'd been quietly siphoning money from our joint funds, money that was supposed to be ours, money for our future together. 20 years of secret deposits, thousands of dollars that should have been our security, our comfort. In old age, our legacy for the children. He'd been planning his exit for 2 decades, preparing to leave me with nothing while he built his new life with Christine. The betrayal was suffocating. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Our children were devastated, angry at their father, but also trying to maintain some relationship with him. I felt so alone. Then came the family reunion. Every 5 years, the Hayes family, Robert's side, held a massive reunion. 3 generations gathering at a rented estate in the Berkshires. It had been planned for months, and this year was particularly special because Robert's mother, Eleanor, was turning 90. I assumed I wouldn't be invited. After all, Robert had already moved in with Christine. The divorce was nearly final. I was no longer a Hayes, not really, and I was right. No invitation came. I heard about it through Sarah, who looked heartbroken when she told me. "Mom, I'm so sorry," Dad said. Dad said Christine is coming instead. Grandma approved it. That's when something inside me shifted. The hurt transformed into something sharper, clearer. I'd given 47 years to this family. I'd cared for Eleanor when she had her hip surgery. I'd organized countless family gatherings, remembered every birthday, kept traditions alive. I'd been a Hayes longer than some of the people who would be at that reunion, and they'd erased me like I never existed. So I made a decision that surprised even me. I closed the account, not the joint account that was already divided in the divorce. No, I closed something far more important. I closed the account of goodwill, of silence, of protecting Robert's image. For years, I kept quiet about his affair, not wanting to embarrass the family, not wanting to hurt our children more than necessary. But if they could replace me so easily, if I meant so little after nearly 5 decades, then they deserved to know the truth. I made copies of everything. The bank statements showing the secret account, the transferred funds, the timeline that proved Robert had been planning his exit for 20 years. Text messages, receipts from romantic getaways, evidence of a double life meticulously maintained. I put it all in a folder, then I addressed envelopes to every single person who would be at that reunion. Robert's siblings, his cousins, his mother Eleanor, even his uncle James. The family patriarch everyone respected. In each envelope, I included a letter. Not angry, not bitter, just honest. Dear family, I'm writing to share something I've kept private out of respect for Robert and this family. But respect should flow both ways. And being excluded from Eleanor's celebration after 47 years as part of this family has shown me that my silence serves no one. For 15 years, Robert maintained an affair with a colleague. For 20 years, he secretly transferred marital funds into a private account, preparing to leave our marriage while I believed we were building our future together. The enclosed documents show the truth of what our marriage was and what it wasn't. I'm not asking for pity or even support. I'm simply ensuring that as you welcome Christine into the family, you do so with full knowledge of what that welcome cost. With all the dignity I have left, Margaret, I mailed them 3 days before the reunion. I didn't attend, of course, but Sarah called me that weekend. Her voice a mixture of shock and something else, maybe satisfaction. "Mom, you should have seen it," she said. "Grandma read your letter at breakfast." Then everyone else started talking about theirs. Dad went pale. Christine left before lunch. She said she didn't know about the money, about how long he'd been planning it. I don't think she did, honestly. She looked devastated. Apparently, the reunion dissolved into chaos. Robert's siblings confronted him. Eleanor, traditional and proper to her core, was horrified not just by the affair, but by the financial deception, which she saw as dishonorable. Uncle James, who'd always prided himself on the family's integrity, told Robert he was ashamed. The Hayes family didn't exclude me after all. They excluded Robert. He called me a week later. His voice was different, smaller somehow. "Margaret, what you did, it destroyed everything." I took a slow breath. "No, Robert, what you did destroyed everything. I just made sure people knew whose hands held the wrecking ball." There was a long silence. "For what it's worth," he finally said, "I'm sorry. I was a coward. I should have been honest years ago." "Yes," I agreed. "You should have." We hung up shortly after. The divorce finalized 2 months later. I got the house, half the visible assets, and a portion of that secret account Robert had hidden. Not all of it. He'd already spent much of it on his other life, but enough. More importantly, I got something else. My voice back. My dignity. My truth. Christy never did move in with Robert. She broke up with him after the reunion, unable to reconcile the man she thought she knew with the one revealed in those documents. Robert lives alone now in a small apartment across town. Our children maintain a relationship with him, but it's strained, careful. They see him differently now, not as the charming, reliable father they thought they knew, but as someone capable of deep deception. As for me, I've built a new life. Smaller, quieter, but entirely mine. I volunteer at the library 3 days a week. I've taken up watercolor painting, something I always wanted to do but never had time for. I have coffee every Thursday with a group of women from my book club, all of us navigating the complex terrain of life after 60. And I've learned something important. Kindness shouldn't mean silence. Love shouldn't mean accepting betrayal. And family, real family, doesn't erase you when you become inconvenient. The account Robert closed wasn't the bank account with our shared money. It was the account of our shared life, our shared history, our shared future. He closed that long before I found out. All I did was balance the books.